I asked for extra tzatziki with my order. I was given a year's supply. Well, you didn't specify, that's the problem. See, when you're asking for extra things, specificity is gonna be helpful in your journey. And that is what you did wrong. There was no specificity to what you asked for. Therefore, how were they supposed to know what you were ordering? I don't blame them for doing this. You could have wanted a little cup, you could have wanted a gallon. How are they supposed to know? They took a gamble on you, all right? A solar panel on my roof was hit by a stray bullet. Oh, god damn, it's lodged in there. Well, now you know you'd be protected, right? Would that solar panel still work, or what's the deal here, right? Because now you know, like, okay, good news, your solar panels can stop a bullet. Bad news, I think you might be, are you down a solar panel now? What, I guess what happens from that, right? Damn, dude, that thing is lodged in there too. All of the bags of milk were cut open. Is this a quality assurance? I mean, across the board, the milk itself was not punctured. But why was it cut open? Do we have a rogue? Like, is this a crime on dairy? What's happening? Like, if you look, they all split, like, in the exact same location. Like, right next to the, like, on the back half of the percent sign. There had to have been a fault in these bags. Like, this is like a production thing, I think. I don't think that there's, like, an angry man out there who's like, fuck, I hate Nielsen brand milk. And is taking his anger out on them. I don't think that's happening. But yeah, this screams defect to me. This is unfortunate. Also, I'm American, so bagged milk is not something you really see in the States. This is weird for me just to look at. Birds really like this roof. Maybe the sun's hitting just right. I mean, look, they're all resting there. Maybe there's a lot of food that pops out over there. Could be plenty of reasons, but I'm not gonna judge. Let them enjoy their roof, man. You try being a bird flying around all day. Maybe you'd find a place to hang out with your friends too. I went to go look up the post and a couple of interesting things. So these are all pigeons, and the domestic pigeon is a descendant from the wild rock dove, and rock doves would dwell on cliffs and rock formations. So it's possible they see this, it looks like a cliff, and they're like, dude, my ancestors are they're calling to me, I gotta be here. It could also just be like a warm area for them to sit, maybe poorly insulated so there's warmth for their little bird feet, you know? But I was reading about pigeons, and a fun fact for you hashtag bird lovers out there, you probably already knew this, but pigeons, they're not really wild in the sense of like, oh, they're undomesticated. No, they were domesticated for forever. They were easier to raise than chickens, and you know, they're super cuddly. They always came back to the coop. But cities got too polluted for the pigeons to be edible. So we were just like, f it. And poor little guys. We kept them for food, for pets. We had pigeons were all the rage back then. These poor guys. I'm parked at Starbucks and could see another Starbucks in my side view mirror. Dude, they're competing. They're trying to see which one's gonna get more business. I've actually never understood this, of having like, I don't know, two of the same business in one location like this. I've always found it just very bizarre. And it's also like, I guess it could be advertisements for one another, because I see it like cannibalization. But say there's like a Starbucks and like Target, for example. I feel like there's always a standalone Starbucks pretty close by to that Target. And maybe it's like advertisement for one. I don't know. This church bathroom with a pew in it. Well, yeah, dude. When the pastor's leaving their holy mass behind in the toilet. Sorry, boo. I don't know. I'm looking at the poo pew and I don't know what to make of it. I'm glad they got the step stool for squattage. You know, it's always good to have your knees arched when you're you know, that's very nice to do. I don't think that's what it's used for. This is really funny. They just have extra pews and we're like, fuck it, let's put one in there. There's no explanation that makes this make sense. This clothing store's changing room helps you categorize quickly. Oh, the yes, maybe, nope. I love that. So when I go into a clothing store, I have to make those in my head, but there's not enough space in the bars for me to do that. So I have to place some on like the little seat. This is awesome. Like things, this is like a touch above for like customer service. Does that make sense? I love seeing businesses do this where they're like, let's just add a little nicety, right? This is just a little nice thing they can do. I'm a big fan of stuff like this. What place is this? I think, like in Marshalls, they're like, their yes, maybe no is like, I need it. And then maybe is like, well, not right now. And then their no is maybe later. Too many words. Way too many words. Conference room glass designed to block the screen from outside view. And then you see the screen and wait, what the fuck? Holy shit, that's awesome. How do the act? Sorry, I thought it was gonna be like maybe like a blurred mirror. No, it's not. Does it even work on the tablet screen? Hold on, I need to. So it's working on the TV screen, but not the tablet screen, which means there's some sort of film or something on this window, right? And not just the window. There has to be something added to like the TV screen to achieve this. At least I would imagine. Maybe it's like because if it was also like canceling out the tablet screen, then I'd be like, okay, then maybe there's just like some sort of film on the, on the window. But because you could still see the tablet screen, unless the screen is like polarizing in a different, or is rather the same direction as the window. I don't, it's like polarization and direction. That's all I can think of. But that's so cool, man. I think that's sick. A creek full of glacial till and a river full of sediment not mixing near my work. Well, why would that be? Why is it? Oh, that's fun. It's not, the biome isn't blending, dude. I imagine what's going on here is that one of this, probably the one that's called glacial, right, is colder and denser, and so they're not mixing until those temperatures equalize, right? I would assume that's what happens here. Damn, what a cool shadow. Better be the hedgehog. Whoa, hey, that is actually a cool as hell shadow. You did good, little man. Did you make this? This fucking rules, dude. Hell yeah. Like the colored film and it's punched. That's awesome. That's well done. Dermatologist office doesn't allow shoes. I wonder, that's interesting. Why? Wait, why? So from reading this, seems like it might be a thing. Like in Canada, this will happen because the snow and stuff. They're like, I don't want to track the snow into my, business. So take your shoes off. We'll give you slippers and that'll be that. But I don't know why else you would do this. Differences in vascularity between my left arm and my right arm. Wow. I imagine that Reddit's telling this guy to see a doctor, huh? Maybe there's something like messing with his arm. I don't know. It could be nothing, but you never know. You see, the comment section is gonna be one of two things for this guy. It's either gonna be like, OP, you need to see a doctor, or it's gonna be people going, I know what hand he jerks off with. It's really the only two things you've condemned yourself to. After an earthquake, this rescue dog worked 56 hours straight, sniffing through rubble and helping save 40 lives. Once the last person was found, he finally collapsed and fell asleep. Oh my God, he did his best, dude. That's so sweet. Reminds me of the dogs on 9/11 that started getting depressed because they were finding too many dead, not any living. So the rescuers were hiding the rubble to be found. Oh my God. And cheer the dogs up a little. Oh man, dude, because they're just trying to help because that's what they want to do. And they're like, oh, dude, we're not finding anyone. That's so sweet. I mean, not for the people that died, obviously, but for the dogs to cheer them up for their morale. Fast shooting and archery. All right, we're setting up. Make sure everything's right. Make sure that bow is locked. One pull. Nice. Oh my God. Where are you? Oh, wait, okay, hold on. They're going. They're becoming a Gatling gun. Holy shit, man. Clinton Barton, watch out. Your fucking time has come. What are you even aiming for? What are you looking? Is there a person over there? What's happening? Are you gonna show me what you were aiming at? Okay, rug. Well, what did these rugs do to you? Holy shit. Just one smooth motion like a machine. This lady is a machine that turns arrows into shot arrows. Just, and like the pull strength of the bow, like the pull weight, you know what I mean? There's so many things working together here to make this really cool and impressive. This 5-foot tall cheese wheel at my local grocery is that $12,341. Hey, but free delivery, that's nice. I would expect that. This was the World Championship Cheese Contest winner. Holy fuck. What are you even gonna do with $12,000 worth of cheese? That's 1,100 pounds. A family of rats are gonna be very happy. I'm here to feed my family of 1 million rats. They all get a little bit of cheese. It's just craziness. My friend's gaming chair that was made with a lean. Oh, jeez Louise. Is that their gaming chair? Was this lean? It wasn't made with a lean. This happened over time, right? They did not. What the hell am I looking at here, man? There's no brand out here that's gonna be like, yeah, this is fine. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe that this was okayed as a product. Half of the chips in my bag were folded and the other half were not. Oh, wow. I don't understand what this means. Are we weighing the folded to not folded chips? What's up with the weighing part? This part I'm not understanding because this all came from the same bag, right? Are you comparing your folded chips to your unfolded chips to see what comes out heavier? Are you feeling ripped off maybe? Did you order folded chips? I'm curious what the weighing came in here. Oh, I see. Hey guys, so I'm really stupid sometimes. He's showing that it's perfectly half, or just nearly perfectly half, and I didn't pick up on that. I wasn't picking up on that. I thought he was. I think the food part of my brain took over and was like, "Why are you weighing it?" But that's like a near 50-50 split. It's very close, which, you know, if you have someone who likes to have the crunchy folded chips and you want unfolded, this is perfect, right? I mean, it's split nearly perfectly in half for, you know, whoever enjoys to eat chips in their preferred form factor, you know? I have a giant ovarian cyst. That's not fun. Jesus Christ! What's going on? 2 blood tests, a urine test, an ultrasound, and a CT scan all say I'm not pregnant. The cyst is 24 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 29 centimeters. I mean, this cyst is huge. OP said it's not causing them any immediate health concerns, but I hope they're getting surgery to remove it because this thing is crazy. And just reading other people's stories, in the comments, one lady had a 13-pound cyst removed that was just insane. And I'm sorry, this kind of is mind-boggling to me. These existing, you know what I mean? It's so crazy. Like someone else had one removed that like had more or less replaced all of their muscles by just propping them upright. So when the cyst was removed, they couldn't lie flat. They couldn't stand up straight. They couldn't like breathe in fully. It took them weeks to like get back into a normal rhythm. Dude, it's insane. Actually insane. A man tried to sneak into the US inside of a car seat in 2001. What's the story, man? Tell me the whole thing. So I don't think that this is what it looked like, right? I don't think he had this look when it pulled up. I think this is like post arrest and someone like probably a border guard was like, I gotta get in there and posed. You know what I mean? But this is hilarious to me, man. Surprisingly accurate map from 1567. Don't you dare in the comments. All right, I know what I just read. I don't want to see one thing. I don't want to see 15 what? I don't want to see one thing. This is a world map created by Ottoman sailor Ali Makar Reis in 1567, regarded as one of the most accurate of its era. I mean, yeah, man. Holy shit. Talk about accuracy. That's, wow. I mean, basically everything right? There might be a couple bits and pieces that are a little, like, not to exact, but this is very, very good. Holy man. It was like the further you get from, like, the Istanbul area, the greater the chance of uncertainty there was. You know what I mean? And it's also interesting. See how he kind of, like, divides the globe into 24 equal lines of longitude? That's fascinating. And then he does 12 lines of latitude rather than degrees. I think that's really cool. But the thing that he got wrong here is this like massive like southern continent, you know, on the southern hemisphere. Like this giant like patch of land is really where it starts to get crazy. Like imagine if Antarctica really was like this. You know what I mean? Like we probably had the concept of a big mass of land, which didn't know really what was going on. In Inner Mongolia, an autonomous region of China, a Bitcoin mining center suddenly went offline. The reason was not a technical problem. Stray cats drawn to the warmth of the GPUs had curled up on the machines, blocking the cooling systems and shutting everything down. Oh no. Oh, a bunch of sweet guys. Hey guys, I appreciate you enjoying the warmth, but we gotta get you off the Bitcoin machines, all right? I need to make money. What can we do for you? How can we keep you guys warm? I opened up my old, my old Thrustmaster T.16000M joystick, and the weights at the bottom are made of concrete. Damn. Yes, they are. Why did they make those of concrete? Is there a I mean, I guess practically, yeah, that will add a decent chunk of weight, wouldn't it? I guess that makes the most logical sense. Like, a lot of counterbalances, like in your washing machine, they use concrete to balance the load, which is interesting. I guess I just didn't expect to see the same thing that I would see in a laundry machine in a joystick. You know what I mean? That being said, Thrustmaster does not sound like it sounds like a joystick, but not what I was thinking of when I think of you know what I mean? Sounds like a different kind of joystick. One elevator in my building stops on every floor during the Jewish Sabbath, so no buttons have to be pressed. That's really fascinating. I'm not educated, so why would that need to be done? When I first moved to New York City, I lived in South Williamsburg, where there is a big Jewish community. One Friday evening, I was heading out to the bars when a man in full traditional garb waved me over and asked for help. I said, sure, and he told me to follow him. Caught up in the moment, maybe a little too trusting, I followed him into a building and all the way to the back. At this point, I was starting to get really nervous. He stopped, looked at me, and pointed at the wall. Can you turn on that switch? He asked. I was terrified enough to agree to anything at that point, so I flipped the switch and he said thank you. That was it, no explanation. I stood there awkwardly for a few seconds, trying to make sense of the situation, then quietly slipped out. For years, the bizarre encounter lived rent-free in my head until I finally learned that Jewish people aren't allowed to turn on lights during the Sabbath. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. What? Is that, like, plain text, explicit? Okay, so I Googled it out of curiosity, because I've never heard of that. I don't practice any religion, but I love learning about different religions and practices. I think, I just find it interesting because it's something universal, even though every religion is different, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So turning on a light is considered similar to forbidden work, like lighting a fire. So the act of completing the electrical circuit is seen as creating something new. It involves the heating of a filament, which is prohibited under the 39 forbidden labors. I didn't know that. I think that's fascinating. And if I didn't get everything right there, I would love for anyone who does practice to give me more detail, because I find that very fascinating. And the 39 forbidden labors in particular, I think like having those like things of like, don't do this. This is your day of rest. Don't do these things. I find that really interesting. This pattern that is on the both of my thumbnails. I don't know why I said it that way, but it's on both of the thumbnails. They have a pattern. Oh, wow. Okay, ridges. Okay, we're gonna see the other thumb. Honest answer. Last time I went to my doctor, she was checking my heart and lungs and looked down at my hands. As soon as she saw my fingernails, almost all of mine had ridges like this, and they like to break right on those ridges. She said, I'm testing you for zinc deficiency, and she was right. I just started taking supplements, so we'll see if it fixes it, but the blood tests don't lie. Well, then there you go. Maybe that's where you can start. Check yourself for a zinc deficiency. The person before me paid 1 cent per gallon. That bastard was... It might be like a gasoline rewards program, so it's like, you know, some programs will be like, I think this one, I looked at the post, it said it was Lowe's. And so the Lowe's Foods program, you get 5 cents off for every $100 you spend. So for them to get 15 gallons, I don't know where they're living for, you know, the normal gas price. They would have need to spend a lot of money to get that, you know, cent per gallon. Damn. That, and typically, right, there's like a cap to how many gallons you can pump. But dude, why not, right? Take advantage of it if you can. Absolutely. Pope Leo, oh God, is that the 15th? In 1982. No, that's the 14th. IV, that's 14, right? I have a problem with Roman numerals. What, is that really him? Dude, why is he popped up like a blues brother? What the hell's going on? Is there a reason he's sleuthing like this? What's the what's the deal? This massive queue of planes at Newark Airport yesterday. Just all of them waiting to take off. Are those all United? Sounds about right. No, they can't all be United planes, but at least a couple of them were at the back. Damn, just all of them. Are they waiting to get to park? What's the deal here? What are they waiting on? Saw a cloud creature from my plane. Oh, dude, it's like a little, little monolith creature. That's horrifying. It's like a cloud camel, actually. Much less horrifying. Scientists have identified a black fungus growing on the radioactive remains of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor that appears to have evolved with the ability to feed on radiation. The species, Cladosporium, Spherospermum, uses a rare process known as radiosynthesis, which would obviously mean, you know, it feeds off of radiation. That's crazy. Good for it. This sleepy sea lion uses a boat bumper as a pillow. What? Look at him, dude. Hell yeah. What a post to end off on. What an adorable little sea lion.